this mythology. Paul's a connoisseur. Sarah has an interest, but it's all Greek to her. From Cronus's kids' weird childhood to what's going down in Hades' hood. These fables are bizarre but good. It's myth understood.
Welcome to another episode of Myth Understood with me, Paul Bianchi, and her, Sarah Oliver.
Yep.
That's her. Today we are joined by a
cutie pie,
a great friend. This is a comedian and an actor, and this is also Chris Lewis.
Hello. What's going on? You can tell how insecure I was with that. Hello. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, Sarah. You guys are awesome.
We're so happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here. It's, anytime I can find an excuse to be with you guys.
What's been up? Why haven't we seen you?
I feel like I always when you do things like this, you prep yourself to talk a certain way. I don't know. What's been up with
Are you using your
NPR voice?
Yeah. You try to be as eloquent as possible for no reason.
Oh, it's gonna
I talk to you guys all the time. What's been up with me?
Yeah. What have you been doing?
I'm in stand-up mode right now.
Ooh.
Just been writing. I've been writing jokes for about 6 months now, just trying to perfect it and do an open mic, just trying to find my recipe.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what I've been doing. I did a web series recently. It's going to be on YouTube.
What's it called? So everyone can find
It's
you.
called Annabelle's First Date.
Are you Annabelle?
Are you Annabelle? Damn it.
Yeah.
Mind meld. No, I'm not Annabelle. I'm Xavier. I'm a thespian actor who is a womanizer.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So every no, I'm just joking. So that's what I play in the
Yeah, you got any stand-up shows? People, if they're in LA, they can find you at?
I do. Stand-up show happening next week is May 17th at Flappers,
Ooh.
10 p.m. I'm doing 10 minutes.
Whoa.
So that's why I've been.
Yeah. But you've only prepared a tight 5, so 5 minutes.
The other 5 is just improv. The other 5 is just improv.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna do that and
Zip zap zop.
Zip zap zop it. Zip zap zop in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I ask all of our guests who come on this, unless it's their second time, what's your experience with Greek mythology? Did you grow up hearing it in school? Did you enjoy it?
My experience with Greek mythology of recent is God of War.
Okay.
The video game?
Video game.
Are there gods in that?
There's definitely Greek mythology.
Ooh.
I have not played God of War, but my general understanding of it is that there is Kratos, who is an illegitimate son of Zeus. Who is fighting for his godhood.
For the most part.
For the most
That name checks out. Sounds like something.
He kills the original God of War.
Uh-huh.
And becomes the God of War.
Is this a
kills
spoiler?
Ares?
If you
For the first game, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a spoiler. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But the first game came out like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
12 years ago.
It's
I
like
exclusively
YouTube.
only play like Dragon Age and Skyrim.
Yeah.
That's it. I will not
Those are
play
good-
anything
those are
that's
good
not
games
medieval.
too, though.
any game where Sarah gets to run around as a beautiful elf lady whose name is like a fantastical variation of her own, like Sarara.
and I will. What's the crazy thing I do when I play video games?
Many crazy things, but Sarah will literally turn off a game if she accidentally kills an animal in it.
Oh, wow.
And go back to my old state.
Yes.
She's a moralist. She's so moral.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, she also, if you've played the first Dragon Age, she got all the way to the end, and when she found out that she cannot be with her character that she was in love with,
Back to one.
she had to start it over and find her perfect ending.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. She's a hardcore gamer.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never played Dragon Age, right?
Yeah.
I have never played
Well,
it. I've watched.
that's what today's podcast is gonna be about. Dragon Age.
I'm fucked. No, I'm joking. I'm gonna watch a bunch of YouTube clips right now.
Yeah. Well, actually, we are diving back into the Trojan War. So if this is what you came for, just fast forward to this point, because we were talking about the Trojan War. We are continuing where we left off. Greek ships are sailing towards Troy, and are you how familiar are you with the Trojan War, elements of the Trojan War?
Not since high school.
Not since high school.
Mm-hmm.
You were engaged in the Trojan War in high school. Me too.
Did you see that Brad Pitt movie?
I was gonna go into that. I was gonna say Troy is a great film.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. I don't know how accurate it is though.
We had one of
Pretty sure Brad Pitt wasn't. Oh no.
one of our friends who I forget if they mentioned it on Twitter or Instagram, but they asked if we had watched the new Troy series on Netflix, and I have not watched it yet.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, but
I was told it's binge worthy.
Yeah, well, I talked to her about it, and I said, oh, well, I haven't watched it yet. Sarah thinks it looks like garbage, and she was like, oh. Yeah, it is sort of garbage, but I'm watching it, and I'm like, that's television, though.
Yeah, for the most part, television is not that good.
But we've sort of been gearing up to this by talking about the Greek side of things, and on the Greek side of the Trojan War, our primary heroes are Achilles, Odysseus, Menelaus, Agamemnon, Patroclus, Ajax. Not the hero, not the cleaner.
I was thinking about Ajax.
And Calchas the seer.
Wow.
But we haven't really talked about the Trojan contingent. And this was made up of Trojans, Dardanians, and of the Dardanians, this includes Aeneas. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he's the star of the Aeneid. The anus.
The anus.
Thracians and Carians. And there are many more contingents than this, and all of them have names, of course, and I'm not going to list them all. But the two Carian names that I wanted to mention because I like them. It's not Charian. It is actually spelled with a C-A. So these were the brothers Amphimachus and Nasties.
Whoa.
Nasties. Okay.
I think I have a new favorite.
Nasties.
Yeah, I couldn't really find anything about Nasties aside from his name, but we know how he got it.
Yeah.
He earned that name.
It was a nickname.
Yeah. We also during the war, the Greek gods took sides in the power struggle. And on the Trojan side, we have Apollo, Artemis, Ares, and Aphrodite all siding with the Trojans.
Ooh, yikes.
We can sort of get the mindset here is that we have Aphrodite, who
is a pile of semen.
she was the one who made
person.
the union between Paris and Helen come to be. So she, of course, sides with the Trojans because she's like, I have declared that they're
she loves drama.
lovers, and thus I will side with them. And of course, she was sleeping with Ares, so Ares does as Aphrodite wants. Apollo is a
psychopath. He's a
psychomaniac.
He's a freak.
And also, if you remember, the Artemis was angered due to the slaying of her
deer,
sacred deer,
and
then they tried to sacrifice a young maiden to like appease her, and she's like, no, I don't like that either.
Never satisfied.
So meanwhile, Hera, Athena, Poseidon, Hermes, and Hephaestus sided the Greeks.
Oh, wow.
So
where's Zeus in all this?
Zeus is fucking around.
Yeah.
I would he likely
staycation.
also was siding with the Greeks, but we're specifically talking about the gods that readily gave aid to the Greeks. Leading the Trojan forces was Hector.
Hector.
Yeah.
A normal name from us.
Yeah.
I know,
The most normal name I've heard so far.
Hector, actually, I was reading about where Hector as a word came from, and Hector's sort of like ancient Greek for like he who holds all the shit together.
Wow.
Like he's
the glue.
He is the glue.
Hector's the glue.
Yeah.
That holds true.
Yeah.
Even today.
I thought you were
Hector's still the glue.
I thought you were intentionally trying to rhyme. You're like,
oh, maybe
Hector's the glue, and it's true.
Oh.
He sees everything through.
I didn't even notice that.
A haiku
Haiku
by Chris Liu.
Sarah. Oh man.
He was the first. Was it?
It was.
He was the firstborn son of King Priam and Queen Hecuba. And they were descendants of Dardanus and Tros, who were the founders of Troy.
These are like cool rapper names.
That last one was just an onomatopoeia.
Dardanus and Truss. Like
It's an ad lib.
Yeah.
Truss is the sound of throwing a. Is truss the sound of throwing an axe?
Yeah.
He was prince of the royal house and was heir apparent to the father's throne. He also was married to Andromache, with whom he had his infant son. God damn it, this name, Scamandrius.
Scamandrius.
Is this the kid that gets chucked off a wall?
Scamandrius?
No, yeah.
No, I don't believe so. What are you talking about?
Because I was in that play in high school, Trojan Woman, and it's about the Trojan War, and Libby, my present day BFF in Arizona, she played a woman.
Listen to how quickly she qualified that in Arizona.
Well,
she didn't want my wrath.
I don't want to get punched in the face.
Right.
And
No.
she played a character where this is the saddest, worst play to ever do it in a high school, because the whole time everyone's just like walking around and moaning and fake crying. So it's like not good acting by kids. And like it's depressing as shit.
Bad acting.
But Libby was amazing. But her kid, she had to like throw it off a wall to not have it be killed by the soldiers.
Because she would rather do it?
Yeah, she's like, I don't want him to.
Well, I don't think we're going to get to that point today. Today we're specifically talking about the first 9 years of the Trojan War.
How long does she last?
10 years. Remember
Okay.
the seer Calchas, he prophesized it when the snake ate the
yeah,
bird and all
yeah.
of her babies and then turned to stone.
Snake ate.
Right.
That's what you're missing from the last episode, Chris.
I'm missing all the good stuff. Snakes and birds.
Ye old calculator.
Yeah. Hector acted as the leader of the Trojans and their allies in the defense of Troy and would go on to kill in battle single-handedly 31,000 people.
31? 31,000.
Yeah, that extra 1,000.
I know, that's what I was going to get to. What was that for? It's just for like...
that last 1,000 was just for shits and giggles.
Right. Just for fun.
And he was waiting, sort of folded armed. You can just imagine just like a 7-foot muscular Trojan guy just like standing there like on the beach as the Greeks sort of sail up to the beach. And right about then is when the seer Calchas raised his finger in the air and said, I have a prophecy.
You're sassy.
Listen to me. I am Calchas and I have a prophecy.
What's up? My name's Hector.
No, you don't listen to this prophecy, Hector. You're on the beach.
Oh, okay. I'm collecting seashells anyway.
Listen to me, Odysseus.
Yes, I'm listening to you.
You've got such a sultry voice, Odysseus.
I also have a soul album coming out.
My
soul funk.
My prophecy is that the first Greek soldier who sets foot on Trojan soil will be the first to die.
Interesting.
So I'll just go back to bed now.
Ooh, I found a sand dollar.
Go. You also go to sleep, Hector.
Hector is a good person. He deserves respect.
So upon hearing this, all of the Greeks become very hesitant to land because none of them want to be the first one to die in battle.
Of course.
And Odysseus decides to trick his friends.
Oh, wow.
And so when Odysseus' ship lands on the shore, he takes his like round Greek shield, throws it down on the beach, jumps off the ship and lands on a shield and goes, "Behold, I have landed on the shore."
Hot lava.
Hot lava, hot lava. Yeah.
Smart guy.
Right after that happens, Protoclus, who was leader of the Phallacians.
Phallacians.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's a happy island.
Yeah. He was hanging out with nasties.
That's their buddies. For sure.
But so he, not wanting to be shown up by Odysseus's bravery, is like, well, then I will land second.
Oh,
and
wow.
so he lands his ship. He steps off of the shore, and immediately the Trojans.
Smoke monster gets him.
Yeah, it's just like Lost. Immediately the Trojans begin their assault, and so they're running at him with their spears and their swords, and
Why does Odysseus' dumb shit get a pass?
Odysseus, he's kind of not a good guy.
Protoclus starts fighting them off, and he kills 1 Trojan, 2 Trojans, 3 Trojans, and then he kills.
After every third one, he has to laugh.
Yeah. And after he slays his 4th Trojan, Hector just sort of marches down the beach, and immediately like the Trojan soldiers start like clanking their shields and start doing that thing that you did in high school of like, ooh, there's gonna be a fight. And so they create like a ring around Hector, and I'm gonna keep having to read his name because it's insane. Protoclus.
Well, hopefully he gets slain right now and in that name.
Well, yeah. So they begin their fight, and spoiler alert: Calchas's prophecy was correct.
Wow.
And Hector just like brutally slays him, just like right away has his spear out and just like sticks him right in the gut.
Ouch.
And then he's got the amount of strength blessed by the gods to like basically pick him up at the end of his spear and then make him like slowly like slide towards his like clenched fists holding the spear. And then he's just like, you deserve this. Like
That ground was hot lava.
Exactly. While this is happening, while Hector is being an excellent leader and just engaging 1 soldier one-on-one here, the Greeks actually take the beach. And so Hector's like, retreat, after he kills this 1 guy. So that's exciting, right? Exciting and gory. You can imagine.
Very exciting.
Imagine.
I have an active invagination.
Infatuation.
Invagine the Phallacians.
Nasties.
But after that occurs, they actually so Protoclus has sort of a tragic backstory. Well, not a
The skewered guy?
Yeah, the skewered guy. He left behind his wife Laodamia back in Greece, and they had just been married. And so the gods took pity upon the couple because it was like, well, they just got married. They didn't even get to have any years of wedded bliss.
So that sounds like they're going to, take pity on him. We'll kill his wife too.
I know.
We'll turn them into birds. So what happened was Hermes actually brought, showed up in Hades and was like, oh, hello.
It's so hot down here.
Protoclus? Which one's Protoclus?
Wow. This is Protoclus.
Say, please respond with present.
Present.
All right, excellent. Here, come with me. I'm going to take you, and you get to see your wife for 3 days before you get to be dead for the rest of it.
Just 3?
3 days.
What about a solid 4?
Don't bargain with me. I'm the messenger god.
You're correct.
So Hades leads Protoclus back to his wife, the widow Laodamia, and they have a tearful reunion with each other.
Oh, my
let's
darling.
Get to fucking.
Let's start fucking now. We have 3 days to fuck.
And
Get our fucks in.
Get this fucking going.
And after they had sex for 3 days, one can only assume, he was returned to the underworld, and some of Laodamia's friends would say, like, hey, this was actually the worst thing for her, is that it sort of like, she had to grieve her husband not only once, but then twice after 3 days. And so she sort of went crazy, and
another girl goes cock crazy. They can't handle it.
And she ended up constructing a bronze statue in his honor
Of his penis.
It just says of him, but it could be.
It's absolutely his penis.
Totally.
And she then prayed to that statue
Penis
every
prayer.
day and started. You guys are great today.
I'm sorry.
And then started. she prayed to the statue every day, would forget to eat, and her
Her mouth was full.
Penis
great.
prayer.
Oh my. So then her dad walks in on this.
Oh, this is not good.
Uh-oh.
You want
And-
to see that?
And he is so worried for his daughter and his health, and he's like Laodamia, you have to get over this. And he, God, I'm gonna hate saying this. Then he took the statue out of her mouth and and threw it into the fire.
Well, that's a little hard. Wait,
That was
that's
harsh.
bronze. I
Yeah.
don't think he gets to destroy that.
Well, you can melt down bronze. So let's say it was a piping hot fire.
All right.
Piping hot.
Yeah. And instead of crying and running to her room, or I don't know, doing whatever one might think that she would do, she instead dives after it into the fire and holds onto the molten bronze
Wow.
and burns herself alive, just so that she can be with her love, Protoclus. Yes.
Well, it
So
was a great 3-day weekend, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
A lot happened.
yeah. So after Protoclus dies, the Greeks bury him as and revere, and some after he's buried revere him as a god. Like there's like cults to Protoclus after this, and he's buried.
Well, they
on,
probably all saw that very flattering statue.
They're like, that's him?
yeah, I mean they have their own
Impressive.
statues, and he's buried on the Thracian Peninsula across the Troad, which is a new word that I learned.
Trude.
What is that?
The Troad is
me.
what they call the area that's on like the north western tip of Turkey.
Oh, Trude.
It's also
Okay.
known as Troas. It's the Troad.
the Trude.
It's also where Troy was.
Oh, okay.
Oh, makes
Um,
sense.
Um,
Okay.
So then Achilles led a second wave of attacks, and during this he killed Cycnus,
Whoa. Okay.
the son of Poseidon.
Ooh.
And Cycnus was also
Person?
a musical performing artist. Like it just like
Was he really?
I thought it was just
no, but
Oh.
I'm just like you talking about how like some of these other names like Dardanius and Tros sounded like
Yeah.
singers. Like have you heard that new song by Cycnus?
right. Down with the sickness.
But yeah, it could have been pronounced Cycnus, but let's
Right.
go with Cycnus.
Sickness sounds
Someone will yell at you.
So someone will. The Trojans then fled to the safety of the walls of their city and would remain there for the next 9 years.
wow.
And the walls were built by Poseidon and Apollo during their forced service to the king Laomedon. And so it was like an incredibly strong fortification that they could not get through.
Like water walls. Poseidon's water, right?
Poseidon is god of water and also
horses.
and
Horses too. Oh, right. Horses and water.
Wait, why did they get community service with the Trojans?
You might remember this back in our episode that was about Apollo and Artemis,
You might be surprised how little I remember.
but Apollo had to do community service for the Trojan king Laomedon.
Okay.
For
Community service for God.
yeah, for some you can only imagine
Psychopathic
what
shit, yeah.
what Apollo
I'm
would
sure.
have to be punished for.
Yeah.
And as you say, Poseidon and horses, I would like to respond not only via Twitter but audibly that one of our, what was it, Fletch on Twitter mentioned that apparently my voice sounds like Tina Belcher from Bob's Burgers, specifically when I talk about horses and youths. So
Do your best,
Yeah, you should just do it.
Tina.
now.
oh man, what is something that Tina would say?
Everybody loves Tina.
Just read the next sentence, Ezra.
The Greeks besieged Troy for 9 years. I don't know. I haven't watched Bob's Burgers for a little bit, so I think I'm out of practice.
I think it sounds exactly right.
Yeah.
I like it.
So this 9-year besiegel is sort of the least well-known part of the war against Troy, because the Iliad, Homer's famous Iliad, actually begins with year 10 of the battle. Which is like where all the things that people remember about the war, the Trojan horse, the Paris shooting an arrow at Achilles, all of these like big momentous moments happened then. But today we're just talking about the first 9 years.
Yeah, but if nothing happens, wouldn't you just be like, I think we won the war. Let's go home.
Well, basically because they couldn't get into Troy, they were doing their best to assault all these different regions to sort of cut off the resources of the city. But unfortunately, the wall in front was so big that Troy could still receive supplies from further into the interior of Asia Minor. So, but in the meantime, Achilles and Ajax primarily were sieging small villages and small towns, and burning farms, doing all those horrific acts, like all the things that affect the little people,
right? Little people.
Not actually
not affect that.
Fuck with these little people.
That sexy ass bitch they're fighting over.
Exactly. And
sorry, I was just fighting.
Sexy ass bitch got you.
Yeah, sexy ass bitch got.
Okay. So after the 9 years, the Greeks controlled only the entrance to the Dardanelles, and Troy and Troy's allies controlled the shortest point at Abydos and Cestus, and were still able to communicate with allies within Europe. And probably the most important sieges that happened during this 9 year period was that Achilles conquered 11 cities and 12 islands.
Wow.
Remember, he was also 15 when this war started, so he was
prodigy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And during this, he also received word from Calchas of another prophecy. Achilles, wait before you go and take that island. I have something you must know.
What did you see? Did you see like bird shit on 3 different cars or something?
I saw half of an egg salad sandwich.
Oh God! And what did it tell you?
It was rotting in the sun, and from that I learned that Priam's son Troilus, he's a bit of a troll, and if he reaches the age of 20 years old, it will mean that we will lose the war in Troy. So go kill him while he's still a child.
What?
I'm going to finish this egg salad sandwich I found.
Oh, God, it's rotten. No.
Delicious. Found out it's tuna. So, yeah, egg salad sandwich tuna thing didn't happen. I don't know what he saw to prophesize this, but that was the prophecy, that if Achilles kills Troilus before he turns 20, it will help them win the war. So Achilles sought out this child, and he found him just doing kid shit, like playing jacks, playing dice, and just like walks up behind him and slits his throat like in the middle of the game.
Wow.
So that happened. Achilles, revered, great hero. I didn't actually see the movie with Brad Pitt. Did this happen in the movie? Did he kill a child?
I don't remember him killing children in that film.
No. That's too
my
bad.
Recollection. Wasn't accurate.
Well, the second thing he did was find Calchas didn't tell him to do this, but sometimes he's a go-getter.
No, once you smell the blood of one child, you can't stop.
It's a thirst.
So he also found like Lycaon.
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 Lycaon, who was son of Priam also, and he was cutting branches in his father's orchards. And Achilles showed up with his best friend Patroclus and was like, "Look, Patroclus, there's a boy over there. Patroclus,
What?
pay attention, there's a boy over there.
So what?
Hello.
Hi,
Hey, hi, little boy. What? Who gives a shit?
Hi.
he's another son of the king.
I'm a son.
Yeah.
I'm a son.
Patroclus,
No,
do you know what would be really cool?
you got
Guys
that
wanna
look in
play
your
with-
eye
wanna
again.
Play with me?
No.
You guys wanna play? Oh,
Patroclus, it would be really cool.
I just wanna-
Take out your rope
Oh, decadent.
I like ropes.
and capture that boy,
No.
and then sell him into slavery.
What?
No, slavery's.
What the? Achilles, no one said we had to do this.
I make my own rules.
You want to play
Oh my
with
God!
me?
Once you pop one kid, you can't stop.
So Patroclus captured Lycan and ended up selling him as a slave in Lemnos.
How can you do that to a king's son?
Yeah, that's a
feel
good
like
point.
you can't do that.
He's royalty.
Well,
You got away with that, huh?
imagine there's two sides in this war.
Oh, so you
And-
sold it to like a
Yeah,
Another-
you
another
capture
royal
the king of the
family.
enemy's
Okay.
son and sell him to a slaveholder on the Greek side.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah,
Um,
an enemy.
so I'm going to take a little jump here and talk a little bit about Achilles and Patroclus, because
Their bromance.
their bromance. Yeah, Achilles and Patroclus is widely regarded in classical Greek myths as like the most famous, to some, love story and to others friendship.
Interesting.
But it's basically based
It's like
on
Lethal Weapon.
It is
exactly like Lethal Weapon. But this is just based on the fact that there are several different accounts here and different interpreters along the way. And in Homer's The Iliad, it speaks very much about like how tender their relationship was with each other, how
They bathed together.
they
They had to bathe together.
they bathed together. They the way Achilles describes the way Patroclus looks at him at one point in the story as like the warm love that like a mother gives her daughter, which is
wow.
like a very, again, not a
Well,
sexy way.
he did
but-
spend the first act of his life dressed in drag.
Yeah.
It's to
but-
be expected.
But that's not like an inherently sexual relationship,
true.
but it's certainly a feminine relationship. It's something that
That's
you wouldn't
true.
expect of two like
very maternal.
classically masculine Greek heroes.
Right.
And particularly in the works of Aeschylus, Plato, and Aeschines,
A skinny. Getting a
it
skinny.
was particularly portrayed as a same-sex love. And
Progressive.
Yeah, that's nice.
Very progressive.
well, progressive in a sense.
I
I talked about in episode 1 when we were talking about what Greek culture was like and what was the foundation for all of this mythology.
Mhm.
And there is a ancient Greek custom called paiderasta, which is basically when it between two members of the same sex, typically men, which is political, intellectual, and more often a sexual relationship, which was like you would send like your 11-year-old son
Mhm.
Really?
and like live with this older man.
I actually knew about this. Yeah.
And he would because we talked about it, or because of just your
No,
own-
I knew about this.
yeah. But that was just part of the culture, was that this guy
Sex slaves.
would sort of, yeah. Well, it was like
He was
this
like
older.
supposed to be tutoring you, basically.
Yeah, he was
into
supposed to train you into being like a nobleman, and it was a way that you could raise your status in society, but like saying like, oh, my son's been tutored by this respected noble,
Oh, wow.
and now he is also a noble, but he's also been being raped for 10 years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even though Patroclus and Achilles were of similar age, a lot of classical writers who romanticized this arrangement between young men and older men
Mhm.
applied this to Achilles and Patroclus and made Achilles be the Dom Daddy, or whoever you want to
Dom
put.
Daddy. The
Um,
top.
and Patroclus was the submissive in their relationship. So so going back to that scene that we just enacted of when Achilles tells him, capture this son with the ropes that we used earlier,
Right? Different meaning on that rope.
yeah, Patroclus felt very like, of course he is indebted to do this with him.
Wow. Psychological.
Further evidence of this relationship, there was a play that Aeschylus wrote in which Achilles speaks of the reverent company of Patroclus's thighs
Whoa.
and how Patroclus was
Intimate.
ungrateful for many of his kisses.
That's just bro talk.
Just normal gym talk.
So during the Iliad, when the tide of war turned against the Greeks and the Trojans were threatening their ships, Patroclus convinced Achilles to lead the Myrmidons.
Myrmidons.
The
I'm
Myrmidons,
sorry.
another
That sounds like a
faction
good
of the Greek forces.
band.
The Myrmidons.
Like
Yeah.
surf. What's the name of that music? I forgot. But
Surf and turf.
surf and turf. That part.
and Achilles didn't. And given the nature of their relationship, Achilles didn't want him to do this. And while I go back to the Brad Pitt movie that I haven't seen,
Right.
what did this also happen in the movie? Was Patroclus a character even?
Patroclus. Let me
I'm
think
like
back.
talking to you as if you're like, were you the writer of this film?
I appreciate the. I appreciate that. I gotta really think about that because I haven't seen that movie in a while. My stepdad loves that movie.
Well, let's call him.
Yeah, let me call him.
Let's call
Hey,
him right now.
stepdad.
But
I don't remember a Patroclus in the movie, but I haven't seen it in a while. I'm pretty sure he was in the film. I don't know to what degree.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it was like as much of a impact as the actual story.
yeah.
I remember
'Cause
a
the film's
scene
kinda
where
like a, you know,
Brad Pitt is just having gay sex for an hour and a half of the movie. So that might be
Is that
him.
when you
Maybe
fell
that's-
asleep when you were watching the movie and had your own dream?
Yeah.
My turn.
So Achilles didn't want him to lead this assault, given the nature of the relationship. He was afraid for his friend lover's life.
Definitely love her.
And
Strong relationship.
but Patroclus eventually convinces him, like, no, I want to do this. I want to.
No, let me
Yeah.
get stabbed to death. You never
Definitely.
let me do anything fun.
They're definitely married.
So Achilles consents, and he's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm really bummed that you're gonna do this, but if you are gonna do this, wear my clothes."
Mm.
So he gives him the armor that Achilles' father had given him for
Okay.
Patroclus to wear
I'll wear
as he
your
goes into this battle.
Oh.
Right.
And he does this also in order to have Patroclus impersonate Achilles, because Achilles believed that if the soldiers believe that you're me, then they're going to be sort of inherently more afraid of you. And Achilles also during this discussion says, Patroclus, so after you're done, dress like me, and you always date the person that you look like. That's what they say, at least. I don't know.
The Olsen twins.
Just like the Olsen twins. Yeah.
That was interesting.
After the siege, please return. Like, don't pursue the Trojans. Just
Oh,
like,
don't
Oh, do not-
die in battle. Is that what you're saying? Great advice, Achilles.
Right.
Yeah, no, just like beat the Trojans
Yeah,
off
okay.
our ships, and don't beat the Trojans off. Just beat the Trojans off their ships.
Oh, Mr. Jealous over here, Mr. Little Cutie Jealous boyfriend.
And but just don't pursue them back to Troy, because that's a problem. And
Deal
so
breaker.
and Patroclus says yes, but like, crosses his fingers behind his back.
Oh.
And Patroclus goes on. He kills many Trojans in this battle, including Sarpedon, who
Sarpedon. These
Sarpedon.
names are amazing.
Sarpedon.
Sounds like a
There always
transformer.
are.
Yeah,
There's- it
Sarpedon.
does.
Sarpedon and Waspinator. Yeah. Sarpedon could turn into a shark.
Yeah, he's a great white.
But this also includes the son of Zeus, Sarpedon, who he slays. And because of this, even though Zeus is on
The Zeus.
Zeus is on the side of the Greeks,
Right.
he is angered by this, and he sort of whispers on Mount Olympus, "This is my loud whisper, Apollo, my craziest son, where are you?"
I'm here.
Wow, you seem like it seems like your medicine is working. You're very
Medicine.
not crazy today.
Yeah, I've been taking my medicine. It's time.
Listen,
What do you need, Dad?
I need you to exact revenge. My illegitimate son Sarpedon got
My
killed.
brother?
Kinda
Oh.
like barely a half brother.
Oh, half. Oh, I don't mind killing him.
Well, you don't have to kill him because he got killed.
Oh,
by-
he's dead already?
Yeah, he got killed by that fucker Patroclus
Oh,
in
Patroclus.
the war.
Oh,
I need you to, like, you're on the side of the Trojans.
I am.
Yeah, so
This is
can
very
you use your godly powers to influence the war on the side of the Trojans? Because I don't want Hera to be mad at me. She's like
can-
in the next room watching her stories.
You say my name, babe?
No. I if I did, it was just talking about how beautiful you are.
Stop.
You guys have a wonderful relationship.
Don't stop and don't leave the house today. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just wearing a robe right now. But when am I not just wearing a robe?
You're always wearing a robe.
But yeah, maybe you could use your godly powers to like remove Patroclus's like wits.
On one condition.
Did you just say tits? I'm in the next
Wits.
room.
Wits.
I said wits.
Wits.
Okay. I'm
I was
watching you
I was
always.
talking about how smart you are.
Wits.
Oh, stop. Okay.
He really loves you.
Yeah. What's your condition, son?
We need to talk more. I feel very neglected.
Okay, so there are these twins.
Are you talking about boobs, babe?
No,
Because
not,
I'll bring some wrath.
no, I'm not talking about boobs. But
Okay.
on the lowdown here, Apollo, there are
Yes.
these twins down on Earth. Like the two of us could go chasing ladies later.
I heard
Okay.
ladies.
Yes, Hera, I said ladies this time. I said ladies. I'm allowed to use the word ladies.
He can say ladies. It's fair.
I can't keep pausing and playing this DVR.
You have a DVR.
We do. We're really
I
ahead
was
of times.
never invited.
Anyway, so Apollo does in fact use his godly powers to sort of create like a fog in Patroclus's mind that removes his ability to think well.
Oh my god, I have one of those.
You have a fog in your mind?
Yes.
And so Patroclus pursues the Trojans after defeating them. He feels like incredibly confident and follows them all the way back to the docks. And waiting for him on the docks is Hector again.
Hector the glue.
With Hector the glue. Hector the glue.
I'm sorry.
Sassy.
I know what our ad is going to be now. It's going to be about Hector and his glue products. But Hector is waiting with the spear of Euphorbos. And I don't know. I didn't actually find out why the spear of Euphorbos is fancy, but it's got a name. So
Sounds German.
yeah,
So Ufa boss.
the Euphorbos.
So it will spare your enemies. It will skewer them. You can have a little Hawaiian barbecue.
Hawaiian barbecue.
And right as Patroclus jumps off the ship, he's waiting for him with the spear, and he just again does his like this is Hector's famous move. He just spears him right through Achilles' dad's armor that I guess isn't very good.
Not that great.
It just goes right through the gut and spears him, holds him up in the air, and he slides down onto his fists, and he's just like, "You should have never come here." He talks like Batman. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Christian Bale.
Where's Rachel?
Where's Rachel?
Who's Rachel? And then he died. Patroclus' last words in the Iliad are, "Who's Rachel?"
That's a legit question.
And just sort of like sends him back on the ship with like a note, like a post-it note on him, like "Killed your boyfriend."
XOXO.
XOXO.
Achilles retrieves his body, which had been stripped of armor by Hector, and so he arrives naked. And then but then after it was stripped of him, Menelaus and Ajax actually retrieved the armor that was left behind so that Achilles could wear it again, even though it's got a giant hole.
Right.
It's sort of like it's a cute little like midriff armor now because it's got like a
belly
hole
button.
that shows his belly button.
Belly button ring.
Which is great because one of Achilles' unknown powers is that he's actually a Care Bear and actually can shoot a beam from his stomach.
Oh, I hate that image.
That's a weird one right there.
Bloody Care Bears.
And Achilles was Achilles went through the stages of grief with this. So
he is human a little bit.
let's see this here. Patroclus arrives, his body's there, and Achilles has denial. Go.
No, that's not him. No. Nope.
And then he has anger.
Oh, skewered my boyfriend. He's my friend. He's my boyfriend.
Then he goes through a stage of bargaining.
Okay. Well, maybe if I go down to Hades and I get him back and I kill everybody.
Then he goes into depression. There we go. That was a very. It took him a second to cry.
Fill it out.
And
I'm going through all this over my armor. By the way, is that clear?
yes.
Just so sad it's ruined. It's a one of a kind.
And Achilles actually takes Patroclus's body back to his tent and just like sort of holds and like sobs over his friend's body for days.
Nope. This is not okay.
And he gets like a little like Calchas shows up like knock knock. What's going on?
Are you trying to knock on my tent? It's a sheet.
I'm knocking on the post that holds up the tent.
Okay, come in.
Listen, I'm interrupting something. Hey, we stop kissing that corpse. We need to bury him.
Why? He's fine.
No, we need to bury him. And
I'll bury you because he's great. We've been talking all night.
Okay, I'm going to go talk to Odysseus about how crazy this is. Bye.
Hello.
Hello, Odysseus. I hope I didn't interrupt you recording your new album.
Yes, I've been recording my Soul Funk Volume 1.
Odysseus' Soul Funk Volume 1.
The Hades Within.
The Hades Within. I like it.
Boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Odysseus is here. I have fire in my heart.
He's got fire in his
Fire
heart.
in my heart. I think it's the Hades within.
The Hades Within.
Hades within.
The Hades.
That's cool. He's more like a beat poet than
He doesn't really sing, he talks.
So one night while Achilles is holding the corpse of Patroclus, Patroclus shows up as a ghost, and he's like,
Ew. Ew.
"What, Patroclus? Oh, look, I've been not burying you.
Ew.
You're still here with me. It's like you never left."
Right.
Stop. Now.
And Patroclus, as a ghost, demands his burial in order to pass into Hades, because otherwise Hades is like, your body's not on the ground. I don't get back. Go hang out with Karen.
You know the rules.
Yeah, if you're not buried, you got to hang out with Karen.
Hang out with Karen.
And no one likes Karen.
Nobody likes Karen. That's I feel bad for Karen.
Yeah, me too. And
Heard of a mint, Karen?
and so finally Achilles does consent and allows Patroclus to his body to be disposed of. And so he cremates him on a funeral pyre, which was covered in the hair of his sorrowful companions. Like everyone like passed around scissors in a bowl and like cut off little locks of their hair. And this was, you're making a face, Sarah.
Yeah.
You love it.
Ugh.
She's overjoyed. I think it's like I see like ideas for her Pinterest for her forthcoming funeral.
Pinterest. Oh yeah.
Cutting hair was a sign of grief, while also acting as a sign of separation of the living and the dead. And so the fact that every single warrior felt the need to do this for Patroclus points to how Patroclus was incredibly well liked, not just by Achilles, but by everyone. So the death of Patroclus sort of acts as a catalyst that gives the Greeks a renewed sense of strength going forward, because this entire 9 years of war is very scattered and very, very poorly run. And it's like, who knew that just like, okay, we'll just kill like basically the heart of the army, and then they'll all attack with like a greater sense of vim and like just like make a major push to actually finally take Troy. Achilles doesn't exactly move into acceptance. We did 4 out of the 5 stages of grief. He actually makes his way back to denial and anger again. He does another cycle.
He revisits.
And when he goes through the cycle,
Not today. Not today.
so remember the son that was sold into slavery?
Yeah.
Me.
So he was bought by Aetion of Embros.
Oh.
And Aetion was like on his way back to Troy anyway. So he gets
Perfect.
he got sold to this guy and then immediately was like, well, here we go back to Troy. And he's like, all right, great. Thanks. Thanks for the ride. And so once Lycaon gets back to Troy, he escapes from Etian and returns on the battlefield and is like calling across the battlefield, you sold me into slavery. And it's only been 12 days since Patroclus died. And Achilles sees him on the battlefield, this like symbol of like, you were supposed to be sold into slavery. I wanted you to be a slave, and Patroclus carried it out, and just seeing you really chaps my hide.
Right.
And so he faces Lycaon on the battlefield, and this is like, a 16 or 17-year-old boy, and just like chops off, like cuts him from like shoulder to rib cage, just sort of like does that thing where it's like his body's like bamboo and he just like sort of like slowly slides off of his torso.
The perfect cut.
Well, that's what that kid gets. What are you doing trying to not be a slave?
Exactly.
Rude.
So yeah, that's sort of where we leave our story of the Trojan War today, because that's where we're at the end of 9 years, is that battle. This son of the king sliced in half on the battlefield. Achilles filled with rage, and they're all ready to make a final push and assault Troy for real this time.
For realsies.
For realsies, yeah.
It's the real deal.
So how do you feel? Do you feel like you learned more things about the Trojan War, Chris?
I did.
Good.
I learned what actually happened,
Oh yeah.
not the Brad Pitt film. I didn't know that. There was like slavery and bromances, and well, it's a very progressive story. I liked it.
Yeah, and
The names are awesome.
because of the slavery, it was progressive.
No, that would be regressive. No, it's awesome. I hadn't really known half of that information that you told me. Eye-opening.
I
knew none of it, and I will retain none of it.
Great.
Ah, crap. It's broken.
What are we gonna do when Mom gets home? We're not gonna have her vase on the shelf.
Hey guys, I'm here. It's me, Hector.
Hey, Hector!
Yay!
By the way, I have glue, and it's really good.
Hector glue. Hector glue is the only glue that I trust on my school projects and or model making company.
And Hector glue comes with a money back guarantee. If it doesn't work, he'll skewer you.
I will skewer you.
Wait, but I hope it works.
Oh,
I really hope it works.
It works.
Your glue works. Will it work on this vase?
Yes.
Wait,
Don't
but
tell
on
him
the
it's-
label it says that it doesn't work on ceramic products.
Stop. Just tell him it's fixed.
You're
Just tell
hurting
him
my
it's
feelings.
fixed.
You're hurting my feelings.
Oh, God, no, it looks better than before.
He's got his German spear out.
I'm sorry. I have to take my German spear out that you just said I had.
No. It works. I
Oh,
swear to
good.
God, it's fixed. My mom's gonna love it.
Awesome.
Get Hector glue. It's
Hector
number
glue.
one for tons
Hector
of
glue.
fun. It's Hector glue. Great. Well, Chris, it was delightful seeing you again and having you as a guest on this podcast. For more about Myth Understood, you can follow us on the social medias. We are _Myth Understood on Twitter and Instagram. And please rate and review us on iTunes or wherever you listen, and share with a friend or a hated rival.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And please follow us individually if you like us on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at the Sarah Oliver, and that's at the Paul Bianchi. And then we have
Chris Lewis. It's excuse me. At Chris Lewis was here, Instagram.
Oh.
At Chris _here, Twitter.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I like that because you were here.
Yeah, that's the whole play on, like, I'm here. Even though I'm not there. But I'm here for
What's
real.
great is I didn't get it until you just explained it to me.
That's why I wrote it that way. Like, Chris Lewis was here, so when
Yeah.
anything happens, Chris Lewis was here.
Please
guys-
follow as well. It's Dragon Wagon on all social media, and show your support at dragonwagonradio.com/support. Yeah. Any closing comments, Chris?
This was awesome. And I gotta say, I learned a lot about Greek mythology,
including how to say it.
mythology, and this is great. I got an opportunity to hang out with my buddies,
Yeah.
and it's been beautiful. It's a great Mother's Day.
Oh, it is Mother's Day.
It is Mother's Day.
So to all of our mothers out there who are listening, I hope you had a good Mother's Day because this will not come out until Wednesday.
Sorry, I dated it.
Night.
Night. Bye bye.
So, Sarah, after that episode, I bet you probably need some self-help.
I am so fucked.
Well, luckily, we have sitting next to us the star of her very own podcast, I'm Fine, with Krista Allen. Krista, tell us about your show.
So basically, I bring my friends on and sometimes people that I don't really know, and we discuss self-help books, but not a book review necessarily. It's more of a companion piece to a self-help book because we talk about the topics related to our lives, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah, it sounds like you talk about a lot of difficult things while having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it can get difficult, but it's pretty light. You know, look, everyone's the reason someone needs therapy, right? So everybody can listen to it and go, oh, you know what? My life is not so bad.
That sounds great. Where can we find this podcast? Where can I listen to it?
Well, you can find it on I'mFineWithKristaAllen.com or iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your podcasts.
It's Dragon Wagon.